Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. For March's reading list, I thought I would do something a little bit different. Normally I just choose my own TBR, but I actually had quite a few and I didn't know how to narrow them down. So I went over to Instagram and asked my followers over there to help me narrow down which books to have on this month's reading list. To start off with, I had two books in mind. Both of them were from last month's Abominable Book Club book box. And I did not know which one to select to read this month. First one was Demon and the second one was All the White Spaces. I think deep down I really wanted All the White Spaces, so I guess we can double check. I think the last time I checked it was literally 50-50, which is great, I guess. Thank you for everyone for actually being involved, but okay, cool. So we have 8 votes for black and 9 for white, which means I'm going to be putting this book, which is All the White Spaces by Ali Wilkes, on my TBR. It is a horror. It is set, I think it's just after the First World War. Yes, I did read the blurb not that long ago, and I've seen a lot of people talking about this on Instagram. I'm a big fan of Titan. Pretty much everything I've read that they have published I have loved. James Bogdan is now one of my favourites and I discovered him through the book box, and I think I'm fairly sure he's Titan, so I'm quite hopeful for this. Someone called Paul Tremblay says it's heady and haunting, and I feel like I probably should know who that is, but I don't. But anything that's referred to as haunting normally has my vote, so I'm really excited to give this a go. I have never read anything by Ali Wilkes. I'm not sure if this is a debut. Maybe it is. Maybe I should have researched that before, but I didn't. But I am going to guess that this will be a 4-star read for me. The next question I asked my Instagram followers was, I had 2 literary fiction books in my head to read and I didn't know which one to go for. So I asked whether or not I should read a Japanese literary fiction or a modern classic, and 11 people voted for modern classic, which, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping for the Japanese one, but I also do read quite a lot of Japanese stuff, so maybe this is what I need to read something a little bit more varied. So I have chosen, I'll bow my head in shame because I've never read anything by this author before, but I've chosen Beloved by Toni Morrison. Yeah, got this at the charity shop. Love a little charity shop grab. I've never read any Toni Morrison. I don't have much of an idea of what this is about. The only things I really know about Toni Morrison is that they're normally quite dark and they're normally quite depressing. So I hope that I'm in a good enough mood to get through this. And also this did win a Nobel Prize, so it has to be good. This particular edition as well, where I got it from a charity shop, has got like notes and stuff in it, which I just kind of love. I don't think I'll find it too distracting because there aren't that many, but if your name is Sasha McIntosh and you are in form A8, whatever that means, I don't know that you really enjoyed this book, and I hope that I enjoy it more than you did. The next thing I put out on my Instagram was whether or not I should try to read a DNF, so a book that I didn't finish previously. Should I give it another bash, or should I read a rom-com? And both of those things don't tend to sit very well in my wheelhouse. I'm quite a bad DNFer, as in, like, if I don't enjoy something, I normally give it depends how bad it is, but normally to about halfway through, and if it doesn't have me by then I won't pick it up again. I normally give it away quite quickly after DNFing, unless I think maybe I'll give that another go. But I do have a couple of books that are really popular that I just DNF'd because I just didn't vibe with them very well. One day I will give them a go again, and I was thinking that people might try and make me read a DNF again, but they didn't. They voted for rom-com, which is great because there's only really one rom-com author that I particularly like, having only actually read any 2 rom-com authors, and I got this for Christmas, so I'm really excited to read it. It is The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I thoroughly enjoyed Beth O'Leary's other books, so The Flat Share is pretty good, and then I thought Switch was better than The Flat Share for me, but I liked both of them, and I'm really excited to read this. Yeah, I think this is just a bit of a feel-good book. I love a hardback, and I think I'm going to read this after I read this one, just to maybe make me feel a little bit better about life again. Oh, I just realised I didn't do a rating for this one. Okay, Toni Morrison. I have no idea what to rate this as because it's a classic. I'm going to rate it at 3.5. That doesn't, like, I always find a 3-star a bit funny because you see a 3-star and you think, oh, you probably didn't like it. But to me, actually, 3-star is still quite good. It's only when it gets to like 2.5, 2, obviously 1, that I really don't like things. So I'm going to rate this a 3.5. But, I mean, the quote on the front is telling me it's a masterpiece, so I'll just hope that it's higher than that. And for the road trip, I'm not going to lie, I thoroughly enjoyed The Switch, so if this is as good as The Switch, then it will be a 5-star for me. The last one was, shall I read a divisive book or shall I read a well-loved book? I actually didn't really mind which way this one went because I've got a lot of well-loved books or highly reviewed books that I could have chosen from, but I was secretly hoping for the divisive one. I personally love a divisive book. I absolutely loved Rumaan Alam's book last year, and that was really divisive. I loved that thing. So yeah, I quite enjoy a divisive book. I've kind of learnt from this actually, generally, if anyone reviews a book and says it was really slow burn, I normally love it. So yeah, I don't know. So for my divisive book, I've gone for My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I've heard a lot about this book. I know that Books and Lala said it's one of her favourite books, which is encouraging because I seem to like a lot of things that she likes. If it's dark and twisted and like a little bit messed up and weird, then that's generally where I'm most comfortable. But yeah, this looks pretty good. I think it's like a slasher. I would guess by the cover that it's a slasher. Yeah, and I think that Books and Lala said she preferred this to the Final Girl support group, which is interesting. I quite enjoyed the Final Girl support group, even though I thought it was kind of a big slice of cheddar by the end. It was proper corny. So yeah, if this is better than that, then I think I'll enjoy it. And I'm going to guess that I will rate this a 4.5. Cool, so that's all of the books that I was going to choose. I'm only choosing 4 this month because I slipped up, and if you've read my if you've watched my wrap-up video, you will know that I slipped up. And I slipped up because I did not pick up Neverwhere last month, and that was going to be my reread. I don't generally reread things, so this was going to be one of the first times I actually ever reread a book, and I ran out of time. And the reason I ran out of time is because I read something that wasn't in my TBR. It happens. So yeah, I will also be reading Neverwhere this month. I've already said that I would rate this 5-star because it's Neil Gaiman and also it's illustrated by Chris Riddle, and I love both of them, so of course it's going to be a 5-star, and I will start the month off with this, I think. I feel like I should because it's left over from February, but also part of me thinks I should start with Toni Morrison, so if it is really dark and depressing, I've got the rest of the month to recover. We'll see. So those are all of the books that I'm going to be reading in March. I highly doubt I'll be picking up any others. I will be not impulse reading / buying then reading anything this month, and I will stick to that, I think. Also hoping to get a lot more writing done this month. That's another reason for only picking 5 books rather than the 6 that I had last month, though I think they're all a bit chunkier than last month, so I don't think it's going to make much difference. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will be back later with another one. Bye!